Yes. All I felt was water. And I closed my eyes. Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, Toastmaster of the Day, a very good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
This speech is a work of fiction. Any resemblance to any character living or dead is purely coincidental. Please accept my apologies in case I hurt anybody's feelings tonight. 12:40 a.m., 8th March, Kuala Lumpur. Yes, Mom, I've packed it. Yes, I've told you 3 times already. See, we're about to take off. I have to switch off my phone right now. No, I cannot talk. I'm not being rude. Okay. Yes. Okay, I'll call you first thing as I land. Okay. Good night. Take care. Bye. Excuse me, madam. You're not allowed to use your phone during takeoff. Can you please turn it off? Came a voice that was as calm as the Dead Sea, but as sharp as the edge of a newly polished sword hanging in the courtyard of an Indian prince. I couldn't argue with that, so I quietly turned off my iPhone as she continued to close the overhead compartments. And we took off. During the flight, I observed the passengers, as I always do. Most of them were Chinese, and it was obvious because we were heading to Beijing. I think they were going to reunite with their families, going back home. I was already excited to see the exit of the airport because I knew it was going to be a convivial environment when everybody is going back to their families, meeting their parents, children, brothers, sisters, chauffeurs. You never know. I actually love airports. I love goodbyes. I love meeting. So I was looking forward to it. I started looking around, and next to me was an American gentleman. He resonated kind of a convivial aura, so I started talking to him. And he said that he was going to meet his girlfriend who was in China, and he was seeing her after 8 months. And he planned to propose to her on the airport. I was shocked. That was going to be amazing. I was looking forward to it. As curious as I am, I asked to see the ring. He showed me it was a beautiful blue sapphire with little threads. I didn't know why, but I thought that those threads resembled small little promises that he was going to make to her. It was beautiful. And as I was picturing the proposal in my head, suddenly there was an announcement that the food was going to be served. Now everybody was sitting, everybody was happy, food was going to come. 20 minutes later, we'd seen nothing. There were kids on the flight who were actually hungry, so they started pressing the air hostess beep button. And you know, the frequency of that was greater than the bell ringing in the Indian temple. And I'm kid you not, it's actually very fast. So I thought, let me just contribute to the commotion, and I pressed the ring button as well. But as it was happening, there was nobody to be seen. People were kind of angry, obviously, given that our tickets included the price of the food. So it was given that we should get food. And we were scared that they forgot to onboard the food. So people started getting up from their seats. But as soon as I got up, there was turbulence. So we sat back, we put our seatbelts on, and we waited for the turbulence to pass. It didn't. We still waited for it to pass. It got worse. Children were panicking, men were getting angry. People started to remove their seatbelts in that turbulence. And then suddenly out of nowhere, these oxygen masks popped down. You know, during every flight, I see that demonstration, it looks so easy. You take the belt, put it around yourself, and it's there. But when I actually have to do it, it wasn't that easy. I fibbled, and I tried to put it around. It took 2 minutes, and I was very glad that there was no kid sitting around me, because, you know, help the child after you're done. So once we were done, the turbulence was still on. We were panicking. All I could see were eyes. Eyes of my fellow passengers, eyes of the people sitting next to me. We were panicking. And then suddenly there was an announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, we're sorry to inform you that due to a sudden drop in the air pressure, we've lost the command of the aircraft. We've lost our communication to the ground. And we don't know where the plane is heading. We might not be able to land it safely. And I just heard those words, we might not be able to land it safely. What that was supposed to mean. Are we going to stay in the air forever? Am I going to turn 60 in the air, 70? Is my life going to be in the air? Or the other option was Was it going to go down? I never wanted to think of the second option, but it looked like that was the only one plausible. I panicked. I thought about my family. I thought about how they would be feeling right now. My friends. Will they ever get closure? I prayed they would. I prayed I would get closure. And while I was looking at all of them in my head, they appeared as pieces of puzzles which were uniting to form a bigger answer. And when they united, I could see myself. There was nothing but me. What about me? I had dreams, I had ambitions, I had goals. What about them? Who's going to do all of that? And I couldn't find an answer. And there was just tears. And because of those tears, whose speed and volume was, I think, greater than the Niagara, I couldn't breathe. And then I felt a hand on my hand. It was Jake's hand. I looked in his eyes. They weren't sad. They didn't have tears. All I could see was, I think it was the calmest moment of my life. And then I realized that whatever was going to happen, at least all of us are together in that. And as soon as I was realizing that, I felt the altitude dropping. It was like a raindrop eager to meet the surface of the earth. And within 5 seconds, or what at least felt like 5 seconds, I felt a thump. And all I could feel after that was a thump. And a pain greater than a pain that a pain greater than all pains that I've ever felt in my life. Every inch and every centimeter of my body disintegrated into a million pieces and headed into a million directions, like a galaxy. I think I felt something on my right hand, but I couldn't bother looking at it. I didn't care. I closed my eyes. I reopened them. All I could see was darkness. All I could feel was water. And I closed my eyes. Thank you.